Hello, beautiful people. It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. It means the Wrestling for Life is back at it like a jackrabbit with another AEW stream out here. It's the last stop before All In. So who knows what's going to happen, but strap on and strap in. Be a friend, tell a friend, and let's go. Boom. Hello again, folks. This is the Wrestling for Life Network. I am Big Nick. Yeah, I know it's normally KJ out here and everything with the Wednesday night rants and all of that, but I think I can hold it down out here for AEW Dynamite. It's the go home show for All In. I know it was already recorded out there in Scotland and everything like that. So no spoilers, no spoilers. I already know they might be going around. I don't know if they showed it on my AEW or anything like that. But yeah, of how are we feeling going into tonight? Of like I said, it is the last stop before London. Are they doing a collision before um All In? I don't believe so. I don't know if I recall anything being announced, but yeah, a little bit of a interesting show here. We're gonna get the semifinals paid off for the Continental Cup. MJF and Andrade are supposed to be here. I don't know what we're really doing with Will and Omega tonight. I think they might both be here, but we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Um, but shout out everybody out there 100% as top three from last night. We'll make sure you like, share, and subscribe out here. Popping off already out here on a Wednesday. But yes, yes, yes. Top three from last night. Spaz, Damien, and Ronan. That's your chat points, folks. The more you chat, the more you get in the super chats, the super checkers, the super checkers, the super stickers. Yes, the more you chat, the more, and we do try and click on anything and everything as much as we can out there. But yeah, the more you're in the chat, the more points you get. And we do also, I will bring this up, because I've been kind of having to run this ship out here a little bit, but the predictions title will be on the line this Sunday when we're out here live watching all three shows, All In, Triple A, and also NXT Heatwave. So that's your link for the predictions title out there. Somebody's got to beat Jose, especially got a free pass out there for Lockdown out there. You got a free pass. So somebody's got to take that belt off them, but that's how you fill it out. I don't know if it's going to be updated depending on if they add anything tonight, which could be a possibility. We've only got, I think, 9 matches so far for All In. But yes, that's your predictions titles out there. Again, the more you chat, the more you get in the more points you get and fill out the predictions title form out there. 100% get your name out there. And especially with a big stream like that, we might be giving some prizes away and everything as well. But speaking of the chat and everybody out there, I guess I should try and, can I get ahead of the chat and then like KJ if he ends up behind it half the time, but I'll try my best. Zach, National Cherry Popsicle Day. Well, shout out Geekbox, who was here Monday and Tuesday with me, but he's out there. He's got to rest up. Of this would be kicking off at almost midnight, 2 a.m. ish, I think, his time. So yeah. One, again, I don't know if he got an early advanced copy of it or anything out there, because this is coming from Glasgow. So again, it is taped. No spoilers. No spoilers. I have actually managed to avoid everything. I was going to say, I'm still even finding out matches that were just announced on the card, not even results. So, yeah, excuse me. But, yeah, I didn't even know there was a national specific chair. Where's orange and grape in that whole variety package? Damien, TK is expected to add 6 more matches. You tell me we're going to have 15 matches on All In? I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, they've already announced the trios tag battle match and everything. Do they just make that like a casino gauntlet or something like that to that effect? Is that where they go with that? I don't know. I think 9's a good number out there of it already, and we can talk about it maybe a little bit later. I still wonder what the vibe is, what the feeling is, what the excitement level out there. Let me know in the chat your excitement level going into All In. It feels to me a little WrestleMania 41, WrestleMania 42 kind of vibe out there of really kind of only like only a name value out there. It's an all-in show, so we expect a good show, but they haven't done a lot to really build to make me expect a good show, if that makes sense. But Damien, I see you blowing up this shot out there. Eric Isaac, what up? Hey, Wrestling for Life buddies. Can't wait for tonight's show. Yeah, T's and P's to Tim Curry as well. I thought that was somebody pulling a leg out there today after everything with Dolly yesterday. So crazy. Dolly and then Tim Curry back to back. Same age too, both 80 years old. But yeah, Tim Curry had such a wide range of everything that he could do. It's craziness. Like you can love him from Home Alone 2. You can love him from Rocky Horror Picture Show, from that movie, from here, from there. Just some of even his voice acting stuff alone. So, yeah. Talk about range. But Clay Lewis, what up? J-Boy, I see you. Roman doesn't defend on Monday nights. Well, he will coming up in 2 weeks' time, I think, because next week we're getting I believe the finals between Penta and Phoenix. So then it'd be in 2 weeks' time, Roman will defend the world title on Monday Night Raw in Mexico City. So yeah, give it time. Cherokee George, I see you. Yeah, of shouting out Tim Curry. And yeah, again, could go from the Rocky Horror Picture Show to being in the Three Musketeers. Like, guy could do it all. Sean Reed, what up? Ronan, I see you. It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Again, starting off with some hopium out here. I want them to really sell me on this being the go-home show. Sell me, like I said, I've been a little milquetoast, a little mid on the build for All In. So sell me on why this feels like your WrestleMania, AEW. Cherokee, yeah, da-da-da-da. Dari, what up? Rest in peace to Tim Curry, yeah. Devin, bro, I'm about to go to bed. Who cares about Dynamite? Well, we'll be here tomorrow too for Thursday, Friday, SmackDown, Sunday for all the shows. But no, I'm excited for this Dynamite. Like I said, I want to see how they're going to make this build matter. How they're going to really I know you've got 40,000 plus 43,000 tickets sold. So again, good on them. Good on them. They've sold the tickets to the show and everything. They've got a packed house out there. But I still feel like the build hasn't been that exciting to it. Like, is the packed house out there because it's in the UK, because it's in Wembley? Garrett, hopefully Claudio wins tonight. I don't know if Moxley turns around and drops the belt before he ends up getting to All In. I don't see that. So Riley, or is it going to be him versus Nigel, which as the Nigel guy of the channel, I kind of even don't want Nigel because he's already banged up. Like he already has it. He didn't have a great match with Hechicero. He's certainly not going to have a great match with Moxley banged up. So would Kyle O'Reilly versus Moxley be the better match? I'm starting to kind of lean so. As I've still got the end of Big Bang Theory. Ken, what up? Again, folks, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Out here on a Wednesday. Go, what up? Appreciate the kind words. Shout out to, like I said, the brother from a British mother out there, Geekbox, everybody's second favorite box out there, stepping in and, tag teaming out here for Mondays and Tuesday. Two my New York headshots. Shout out, what up? Dig the avatar picture. King Callum, what up? I see you, Safit. 1 a.m. for us. Glasgow. Is it Glasgow or Glasgow? Go or go? English lessons with an Englishman, an English woman. Jose, Nick is solo on a Dynamite. God help us all. Yes, they finally let the cat out of the bag. They let me in charge of everything. They gave me the fucking wheel out here. I don't think I've been out here solo dolo before for a Dynamite. So we'll see how this goes. I got a strong, label to uphold with the Wednesday night KJ rants out here. So we'll see. Maybe I'll have a bit of a positive spin because maybe they'll have a good show this time. Hey, it's taped. They should have no production issues. Do they have an overrun with it being taped? Why couldn't you fit it into 2 hours if you taped it already? I still don't even buy the whole weird Fightful piece that I saw that like Warner is asking them to do the overrun and they like it. I don't get that because it's throwing off their fucking programming schedule, but I digress. Well, trust me, we can get into some of the dirt sheet news. There's one topic, one guy I want to talk about. Two icons, two legends. Yeah, back to back. Goddamn Draco got this going back to back. Young Bucks expected to retire. We'll see. We'll see. If this could still always be just a ploy, a play. I don't know. I saw some people trying to run with that. They'd go to WWE after that, and I'm like, no, no, no. I don't know whether WWE would want him or if they'd want to go there. If that would be the biggest, the biggest heel move of all time. The guys who helped make AEW realign with Cody and WWE. Could you imagine that day on social media? Good Lord. But Almighty Pop, yeah, what's up, my guy? Jose, what shows are on the predictions form for Sunday? So it is All In. It is the AAA show. I don't know if it has a special name. Spaz probably out there floating around. He can let me know or somebody can. And then also Heat Wave, running the triple header out there, running the gauntlet. And again, they're going to kind of overlap throughout a couple of them. So yeah. Jason, what up? See you. Almighty Pop. I haven't really haven't been feeling AEW ever since after Double or Nothing, but I still have faith, hoping for a good go home show and All In. That's my thing overall. Is I feel like All In still it is their WrestleMania to their extent. It is their Slammiversary or Bound for Glory would probably be the better example, depending on how you want to look at it. Anthony will correct me either way. But All In's their WrestleMania, their biggest show of the year. And I don't know if I'm only excited for All In because of the name of the show, like how you get excited for like the kind of the past two WrestleManias. You kind of got more excited because it's WrestleMania and you're supposed to be excited versus exactly what they on paper were going to give you. Spaz, what up? Yes, I'm Solo. Pew pew out here. See, we had to Solo's catching fire out here so much. I had to do the solo myself out here. So pew pew. But FaZe, shout out on Twitch. We are also on Twitch as well, and we're ever so close to becoming partners out there. I think we've got to only meet like one or so more like check marks out there, and we can go back to back with these partnerships out here and keep growing. And again, the more you guys spread the good gospel out there and everything, the more you spread the word, join this family, spread this family, the bigger and better stuff we can do out there. We can keep spreading that good word. Down with the IWC, but well, it all comes down to this. And Collision, if you care, and then Wembley will welcome us. Shout out. Well, I don't know. Yes or no, chat. Are they doing a Collision? Because I can't remember if they've advertised anything for it. Yeah, so maybe are they going to add just a bunch of matches to Collision that you felt like they thankfully didn't add to All In, seeing how it'd be the night before, almost a Sunday night heat? Or do they add, like Damien tried to say, that they're going to add like 5 more matches to All In? We'll see. Nick will be judged tonight by how many comments he clicks on. So far, I think I'm doing pretty well. Denisha, what up? Ronan, I see you. Yeah, Jason, absolutely. Take care of your health, family. Absolutely. Let somebody know that you love them today, because you're not exactly promised tomorrow or even Christ damn near yesterday. But yeah. Big Mama Box, Glasgow. It's Glasgow. There you go. Shout out Spaz. Drink a lot of water to wash. Well, Jose was out there sending me, bingo cards for taking shots out there through All In. And I told him you'd be hammered before, the first hour of the show. You wouldn't even probably make it out of the pre-show. Even before you're already sitting there wobbly kneed. but I am getting the end of Big Bang, so we should be getting the start of Dynamite at any certain moment out here. Um, Nick saves the ranch for the shows. I'm trying. 5 minutes left. Oh, I'm that far behind. Lazy booking. Shout out. What up? Checky. No taps. No tap. Bradley, I see you soft again. 9 matches total, but they might add more. We'll see as I'm getting all the pyro popping off at the stage so you can sync up with me at home as Dynamite is kicking off. The go home show again, the final stop out here before All In. We're in Glasgow. I'm going to just say it now just to school off. Glasgow. So this already, I don't know, maybe Google you can help me with this. Did this air, or if anybody out there in the UK or anything, did this already air for you guys out there, guys and gals? Was this a my AEW thing? Because we're getting it just live right now in the US. So this is definitely going to be taped. So there should be no flubs. They should be able to knock this one out the park, I would assume. Z-Man, what up? Nick, how do you feel about what Will said about WWE in the Ariel Helwani interview? Fair enough. I will star that. And speaking of that, as Will Ospreay comes out right now, it's really weird for someone to say they haven't properly watched the product in a while, and then to really have a strong opinion on what's going on. Like, one of those two can't be true at the same time, I feel. A little bit. You're doing great. Thank you. You got it. Keep it up. I believe in you. You can't really sit there and say, oh, and this is a bit, I'll get on my high horse already as Ospreay's out here. So there, Jose, you're getting your rant early. This is a bit what we hold our fucking hat on is we watch all the shows. We watch everything. It's all documented. It's all here. We're here live for all of it. And even then, we still at times will go and watch stuff after the fact and everything. Like I watched all of GCW Homecoming just in my own free time with the missus and all that because she likes the fucking deathmatch wrestling for some reason. Of actually watching the clips, actually watching the show instead of watching clips. That to me is when you can have a true statement on it. And do I actually think that Will has no idea what's going on over there? God, no. I think that he's very much kept a bit of an eye, clearly, when he was in negotiations over there at one point, and probably still has actual friends over there. Do I think he's, locked in all the time? No, but it just feels like such an asinine comment to really, like, I don't know, I can't remember if Ariel let him or asked him into it, but to be bringing up WWE that much when you're going into All In, like, why you do that? Osprey's out here. So again, this is in Glasgow. Um, so getting the heroes welcome a bit, but this is going to be really interesting. How do you feel? Are you still super excited now for Osprey Omega as you were when they kind of first were putting it together? Michael, what up? Bonkers, I see you. Paul, it just started. That comment was at 8:01. That would have been just pyro. This man gangbanging on pyrotechnics. Glasgow, you don't say the W. Well, we catching W's out here, so I say the W. See, you all got me mad in a typo. There you go. Excuse me. Danny, what up? Every single day, bruv. You what, bruv? I like Osprey. I want to really like Osprey's promos and everything. I don't know what it is, bruv, that whether it's he doesn't feel like he has enough to work against, to push against, that it makes real sense of what he's really fighting for. Like, I get up early, bruv. Yeah, well, you're the one that chose to still you live overseas and work for a U.S. company. I mean, I know that's a bit of a fucking dickheaded flex, but yeah, it's still at the same time. You're a highly paid professional athlete that works like 1 day a week, bruv. I don't really get the complaining, bruv. He needs something like Kenny's good in ring to push against Osprey. Like they're gonna have a fantastic match. But to get a good Osprey promo or anything, you need him to have a good story to push against. And I don't know if he has that with Kenny. Well, ass play. Can remember, Nick, when Aubrey's on, hit the yum yums button. Oh, fair enough. I'll hit the nay. AI, Nick. AI. I don't even know if I said that at all. Wait, is this what new AI live? Nick here on Wednesday. Solo, I know. Pew pew. But yeah, out here live and direct in full effect out here. As again, Osprey pouring his soul out here. Does this again feel a little like when what it was? Wasn't it Roman Seth going into WrestleMania 42 or 41, whichever one? 42, 41, 41. I don't know. Um, but their feud of to where it felt like they had their big kind of yeah go home moment, and then they still had like 2 weeks left. Like we had the big moment, the big promo off of this is like Vegeta and Goku, this is Dragon Ball Z, this is anime, everything. We go home with that, and then we still had 2 or 3 weeks left. So has this watered down the anticipation? See, you don't know it's Wednesday. You know what that means. No KJ rant. Well, you get a big Nick rant out there. You get, the other side of the coin. You get the other half of the tag team out there. Am I the Dax or the Cash out here? Jorge, we're starting off with a Will Ospreay promo. Well, that's it for me. Well, about to get out of here. No, it's like I said, I think Will needs something to push back against. Like he doesn't feel like he has that to me strong enough with Omega. The promise I made to you right now. I'm the only man that's looking after a boy, huh? Oh, so we're still just getting going. So I'm fired up. Should they go this? Already 7 minutes or so. Should they go this long with it? They went 12 with the sit down interview with Renee. Are they about to go another 12 here? Because does Kenny show up now? Is this your opening segment? Is your go home for your main event of All In? I hope not. I hope not. He's going to bring it home, bruv. Captions on. I mean, you got to get a little of that Cockney, apples and pears down the stairs. You know what, bruv? Yeah, bruv. And that, about that time, eh, chaps? Righto. Jordan, I see you. What up? What up? I'm taking it. Oh, what is Hayway? What is he out there doing suey? Like Cockney suey. What the hell was that he ended the promo with? I guess I'm too American to fully get what he was out there. Hayway. Was that a football chant, mate? A football chant, bruv? But I hope that that's not the only thing that we get tonight to set up your main event on your go home show for All In. What essentially is your WrestleMania, your version of a WrestleMania main event. I hope that that's not all we get. But up next, we're getting Jon Moxley taking on Claudio Castagnoli. And could Jon Moxley not make it to All In? I don't think so. He's got to win it. We'll go right into it. Let's go. Okay. I see you. Jose KJ never hits the yum yum buttons for Aubrey. Well, maybe she's galloping that way. You know, sometimes you need to put the horse in the barn. I don't know. So we're getting the start of John Moxley coming out right now. Let me know, folks, who you have for this match. Do you have Claudio or do you have John Moxley? Isn't it interesting that the Death Riders are facing each other to get to the final and Pac kind of just waiting in the wings out there? Do we see anything to where they kind of excommunicado John Moxley or anything? Is there going to be dissension amongst the ranks out here? But Spaz with a $5 super chat. Respectfully, how many results on Sunday are going to be location based? Also, I like Osprey, but an odd week to be shooting on WWE. Spunky Brewster. Yeah, that's the and I haven't watched the full interview, and I'll fully admit that. But from what I've seen, I can't remember if Ari leads him to talking about WWE or if he just kind of goes there on his own. Because if he goes there on his own, odd choice, bruv. Why not just kind of focus on what you're doing when you're in the main event of your company's biggest show of the year? Bruv. But I don't know. There's not a whole lot of Osprey could be location based. Well, it's you. He should be your top baby face, anyways. Even if it was MJF, if I got my dream wish out there, it was going to be Osprey wins in my eyes, even as a scarf carrying member for MJF. Now, with the way that they've gone with this, I don't know fully if that's the way they're going to go. Could Moxley get involved? Could MJF or anybody that wins the casino gauntlet per se that night? I don't know if they go that way. And it's even like with Nigel. He's the other part of the semifinal. I, at this point, respectfully, as the Nigel guy, don't want to see Nigel in the match. I get that. Yeah, it'd be a cool moment. And even KJ and I think Geekbox even might have thought too that he's going to win it if, they have that match because it's in Wembley. But I don't know. He didn't even have a good match with Hechicero. So I don't want to see him stink it up and then he wins and just, hey. I'd rather see a better match, I feel, between Mox, I'll say, and Kyle. Or even if Claudio somehow won this tonight. Claudio versus Kyle O'Reilly would be a better match, I feel, than Claudio versus Nigel. Right now, respectfully, because Nigel's banged up. See, I had to pivot around it. But thank you, Spaz. As Claudio coming out right now, Almighty Pop, 6 minutes in, and I'm already making coffee. I can't help it when I hear Will Ospreay. I think of Discovery David Attenborough. Now, what we have here is the lovely Anaconda. I don't even know. I'm doing Michael Caine instead of David Attenborough. But yeah. Denisha, watching WWE Evolve. Let me know what's going on Evolve out there. I don't have that pulled up right now. Did I really just join and the first word I heard are Nick really saying to watch him trip, watch him nay-nay? Yeah, there you go. I'll be out here wilding. Jose, does Will have to yell? he's a little loud. What is Ospreay blabbing about? Thankfully, he wrapped it up. But again, there is still something at times like Ospreay does have that passion in it, but just he doesn't have a direction really. And I wish that you could have had an MJF that was such a bastard heel and he had a true out and outright the devil heel to go against and everything, of literally trying to end his career, break his neck again and everything. And he had something to be really passionate about instead of him and Kenny are fighting over well, we used to be really cool in Japan and I was better over there than you were. It feels very like high school meets DC Comics villain kind of weird comic book bullshit, overly cartoony, of why they're actually pissed at each other. If they wanted to just make it really about, I get they want to try and say it's about who's the better person, but that doesn't even feel like that anymore, I feel. Do you think the thoughts that I think you don't, I think? Or an AR1. When Sheamus shows up from the reformed bar, please. But yeah. Jasmine, what up? Yeah, see, I thought you were going to bed, my guy. Welcome back. Anthony, I see you. Spoiler alert, Kevin Von Erich just won the hit. Spoiler. You know, you almost had me there for half a minute. I mean, they could do some weird shit like that in Wembley. But Claudio walking down Moxley in the corner right now. They got to be kind of respectful because it's still, that's my brother. Rebecca, Mox will win. Great. Yeah, but we all thought Mox was going to be in the finals. Mox was not missing All In, just like I assume Jericho's not missing All In some way, somehow. Of Moxley was definitely not missing All In. Cool out there with the 2 jewels. Shout out, shout out. Appreciate you. To do an impersonation of Michael Caine, you have to talk very slow. You have to say Michael Caine. That's how you pronounce Michael Caine, as Michael Caine. You mean Attenborough? God damn. Listen, I'm American, okay? We speak the Lord's English. I don't know. Yes, that's how people say it, unless you are posh, and it's Attenborough. Ironborough. Lazy. MJF is in the battle. I know. That I could see to where he potentially wins it. And I already said, and I've already worked myself up into a frenzy. I don't have a way to tap out tonight, so I can't work myself up too much. But I already have said that if he wasn't going to be the world title picture, and he is actually potentially allegedly hurt, I would have just left him off the fucking card. Honestly, if you're not going to capitalize on him, I'd rather he not be there in some middling bullshit. But if he wins the Battle Royal and gets a world title shot, could he, per se, cash it in that night and be the ultimate asshole of everybody loves that Ospreay won it. He brought it home, bruv. And then it gets ripped away instantly. As I got a figure 4 setting up on the outside. And no count. Arizo, what a question I'm just asking because I heard someone say this. I heard that All In is not All In, it's like a house show. No. Oh, we're going stringing. Oh, into the barricade. As that's where we're probably going to be going into a commercial break right now as Claudio rolls in. So are we going to actually get a count? Yeah, as we go to picture-in-picture out here. No, like I said before, and I've been saying it all night, and anybody is free to tell me whether they agree or disagree, of All In is still All In. All In still has its name value as it's even bigger than Double or Nothing or anything like that. It is the top show for AEW, much like the WrestleMania is for WWE. A lot of people, even I think at times ourselves included, had said the past 2 WrestleManias have kind of felt like they relied a bit just on the fact that it was WrestleMania versus what they really on paper were offering. Not saying that they didn't over-deliver or anything or outkick their coverage. But that being said, that's what it feels like a bit with this is with All In this year of like Ospreay and Omega. Main event, already started the show off. We've already been talking about it. That still to me is going to be a fantastic match. That still could end up potentially a match of the year candidate, top 5, top 10, what have you, or even a match of the back half if we wanted to do it that way. But I don't know if the story building into it has really sold me that's what I'm like. That's what I'm excited for. Like, that's like, what else down the card are we really super excited for? I mean, Cage and Cope versus the Bucks. Nah. Do we get an FTR show up there? Willow Mercedes actually has been kind of the best built thing recently on TV. So really has probably the most momentum going into it. Of the trios gauntlet, however many people's match, do we still even get more people added? Do we get the New Day surprise? How many surprises do we get at All In to kind of cover up, dare I say, of, you know, Divine Dominion versus the Brawling Brutes Dynamite match, of the Continental Cup? Honestly, you didn't need it here. Of Kyle Fletcher versus Takeshita Okada would probably be, actually, that would probably be the next biggest thing that I'm excited for on All In. Honestly, that could even be the best show, the best match of the night, of the show. So there's there's stuff there because it's All In, but is the story really helping live up to it, or is it holding it back? As I'm still in picture, let me see if I can catch up on some of these names real quick. AR1, the new bar, Claudio Sheamus, Buddy Matthews. I'd be down with it. Denisha, yes, good match. Lady Luck, that she won. There you go. Lady Lead, or is there Lady Luck also on, Evolve? I'm not too familiar fully with their roster. I don't know if it's an Izzy, Dizzy, Lizzy kind of situation. Yeah. Corey, what's up, KJ? Not quite him, but his American cousin, maybe. That's just for men in work. Fair enough. I should have read the whole comment. Yeah. See, now it's just I'm KJ when he was doing me for Halloween. Pause. When he cosplayed as me for Halloween, and I'm just doing it better. Nick, did you know MJF is in a battle royal? Yes, and I don't even think that him or Andrade wins it, honestly. Being honest, as Moxley slaps Claudio, gets dumped out. Moxley tope into the barricade. Because, are they paying off the Andrade MJF feud in the Battle Royal? I wish they could have just done that at, Christ, now I'm going to blank on the goddamn pay-per-view. Redemption that they just had in Montreal. Could they have done that there? And then you would have had MJF still do it in triple threat. I still wonder if whoever wins that battle royal, I'll say, do they cash in the same night? Can they cash in the same night? As I got fists in the corner. Pause. Accusations. Making Mox look like the Beyonce of AEW when he clearly is Michelle. Diabolical. Oh, you even wet Michelle, not even Kelly. He not even Kelly out there? No matter what I do. Moxley versus Tyler Moxley. No, put some respect on Claudio. Claudio was good out there. Claudio was great. Claudio needs some, Claudio needs some love, and I wouldn't mind seeing some Sheamus showing up out there. And you have him, Pac and Claudio. That's your bar. Make sure we are liking, sharing, telling a friend, getting these guys goals, because that's what 4 Live family is all about. Absolutely. Be a friend, tell a friend. Like, share, subscribe. Out here popping off on a Wednesday. Let's see if we can get this up to triple digits out here. Claudio and Moxley throwing bows. So far, this man, it's just been brawling. I don't think the Casino Gauntlet contracts work like that. It's not a Money in the Bank. I don't know either. They could decide they're going to make it like that just for that night. Being honest. Michael Spikes, Big Nick, what's your take on 10 WWE TKO executives showing up on an AEW Dynamite last week? Do you think WWE is trying to work with AEW? On that level, with that? No. Do I honestly even believe that story? Especially after some things that have happened today in the wrestling journalism world that we can talk about. I don't even know if I believe that story. Again, I'm not one of those that says there is nobody in WWE that pays attention to AEW. Just like I won't say that there's nobody in AEW that pays attention to WWE. 100%. You are keeping an eye on your competition at all times, respectfully. But yeah, I don't know if they're if what how did they know they were TKO executives? Did they have name badges or something? Did they recognize them? Was it Ari? Was it Mark Shapiro? Was it Nick Khan? Was Nick Khan visiting his cousin Tony just to see how things were going? How do they know that they were TKO executives? It's too vague for me to really buy into it, I'll say. As we're rolling. No, kind of slightly Katahajime. Claudio find out. Now into a triangle or armbar. Moxley trying to get in that Ronda Rousey armbar. Is KJ going to be here for All In? Yes, KJ will be here back from his, out there, his ayahuasca adventures, with Brock Lesnar and Saskatchewan and everything. No, the man's just taking a well-deserved and a well-earned vacation. So me, Anthony, and shout out to Homie Geekbox holding the fort down as, yeah, we're just one family. We're one team out here. But yes, KJ will be back. That'll be his, back into wrestling out there. So we're going to have to bring him up to date on everything as we're going swinging again. Swinging. Claudio is swinging Moxley. Chaz Starboy. Oh, Starboy Charlie? Yeah. Oh, he's super great. He's a guy that me and Anthony have talked on Thursdays of thought that when he came in for the open challenge for the international belt with Ali that he could have won. Or that he could have won and he could have gotten a contract. Uppercut. 1, 2. Anonymous, Nick, shouldn't 0 hour be 3 hours, so only good stuff on the main card? No, well, no. Why would you have a 3 hour? Why would you have a pay-per-view length pre-show? No, you should trim down. I get that you should still have a pay-per-view that's probably respectfully within about 4 to at top end, maybe 5 hours, especially if it's a big show like All In is. But no, I wouldn't do a 3 hour pre-show. And someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like does London or wherever Wembley is, does that not have a curfew at the point of to where they got to be all but done and dusted by a certain time, otherwise it's shut down. We got a 9 count. Moxley gonna make it in. Moxley's in. It's a fucking stop. Claudio out here busting out some Seth Rollins. Burn it down. Gotch pile driver. Oh, front slam. 1, 2. 2 count, 2 go. J-Boy, what's the main event? I'm not sure. Would it be Swerve and Jungle Boy? Because that's really only the few. They don't have a ton of matches announced. So yeah, I don't know what would be the main event. Would it be? Would they do Nigel Kyle O'Reilly as the main event? Claudio taking off the elbow pad. Where's MDB? It's elbow pad, not knee pad time. What the? Moxley just. It's not even one of those oh, I fainted. He literally just took a back bump and just, all right, you can't hit me now because I went in turtle mode. Shocked the world to have Dragunov win the casino. AR1, that could be a thing. That could really be a thing. He's a free agent. 1 count. Stop! Now Moxley, it's a stop and still jazzed up. But you could do it. That'd be crazy. Death Rider. 1, 2, 2 count. No, he's got to win by the bulldog choke. I got to make everybody tap out because I'm the top dog. I am the big dog. I don't know why they started combining the both of those, but they kind of fit. Oh, Claudio's fighting, but he's back down. Jon Moxley has the greatest bulldog submission hold of all time. He should go the CM Punk route and fight in the UFC with how easily he can just work over people, I guess, with this. As Moxley wins again by, I think he's won every match by TKO stoppage. Ha, pun intended. Yes. Devin, what up? Is it weird that in Willow's first defense of her title, she's favored to lose against Mercedes? Well, no, didn't she just defend it against Maya World on Collision? If I'm staying corrected, I could be wrong. But is it her true for her first pay-per-view defense? For sure. And I mean, I would still take Willow. Mercedes, you with the way that everybody perceives Monet, if this was Vegas odds, actual Vegas odds, hashtag not sponsored, hashtag no actual advice here, of that, I would expect Monet would be the favorite because most people would expect that she's going to win just because she's the favorite. She's the Tony Khan favorite. She's the AEW favorite. You expect that she's the golden goose, pun intended, I guess, out there, that she would be the one to get the win, even though we all want Willow. Ronan, as I'm in commercial right now, I got a commercial break on my HBO Max, but there you go, shout out, as I'm about 10 minutes behind on this chat. Spaz with a $5. Nick, can you tell me one TNA transfer that's being used even remotely properly? To quote Anthony, Kevin Knight doesn't count. They got him from New Japan. Well, if you're going to handcuff me on that, Ace Austin would be the only closest example I could say. I'm trying to think, because everybody that's been a TNA jump really has either gone back or, yeah, is Josh Alexander, which I just showed up in MLP, I believe. But they're at least, it seems like they're doing something with Ace Austin. I don't know. You can't even say the Rascals. I get the argument, and it is very much one of those for everybody that says that WWE just kind of collects pieces to let them sit there and collect. Of at times you wonder if AEW does at times the same. Especially, well, it seems like TNA is the little brother that they can pick on now a bit. Sheamus is not free until October. Confirmed or not confirmed? Because I thought he might have been closer to like the Ilya situation of he's just good whenever because they just parted ways. He wasn't released. They just didn't renew his contract. I could be wrong, but that's what I thought it was. I think the executives were at Dynamite out of more. Jesus. Yeah, maybe, Jose. But Lantern Warrior out there becoming a member for 14 months. Appreciate you, my guy. What's up, Big Nick? Yeah. How are we doing so far? We're about, Christ almighty, how long are we into here? We're about a half hour into AEW Dynamite. How are we doing so far? Whatever gets reported, Uncle Dave will always say, see, I was right. I want to make sure I get through everybody that I see out here in the chat before at some point, maybe in the next commercial break, we'll talk about somebody out there that needs to make sure they got their facts right and their things in order, and might have been even a guy that Dave sourced quite a bit that no longer might be seeming to seek employment from Dave. We'll put it that way. Literally, I just had the end of a Impractical's Jokers that just said, set your DVR. But if they're setting your DVR for Impractical Jokers, you're just going to get the run over of AEW, which why would AEW be, like, why would Warner be pushing that instead of just advertising AEW to go 2.5 hours? This isn't Netflix to where just the live feed's done and it's done. Like, there are shows and scheduling afterwards. And I wouldn't say they're exactly the big lead-in as Cope out here. And Cope's been another guy I know I kind of talked about earlier with Ospreay's interview. Cope's been another guy that kind of just, again, really a lot, brought up WWE seemingly kind of unprovoked. Like, for everybody that likes to say that, oh, well, with the Kevin and CM Punk feud where they were mentioning AEW, but they couldn't do it. AEW talent and interviews are very much bringing up WWE. Quite a bit leading into their biggest show. But Tuma, can I call you Tuma, or do you want NY headshots? Which one? Moxley doesn't lose singles matches, he loses tag matches. Absolutely, because I'm John Moxley. Feel like I gotta read it in John Moxley's voice. Yeah, are we surprised? Are you not entertained? It's gonna be Nigel versus Mox. Initially, I wanted that, or actually, initially, I thought it was going to be Eddie versus Mox, but then Eddie got hurt, and now Nigel's even hurt. So why still beat that drum? Why not go a better match route? Why not go something better? And again, still, we're going to get the Cup into the Classic. Well, we've still got the titles. Yeah, excuse me, as Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks out here. I did see earlier, well, I think it was Damien who mentioned earlier about them potentially retiring. I could be wrong, but somebody mentioned earlier of the Bucks could be retiring when their contract's done. I have at least seen the story going around that this may be their last AEW contract, quote unquote. So we'll see. So we got Cope and the Bucks taking on, all right, which members of the Callis family? Shake them up, shake them up. Who might it be? Rocky Romero, Brian Cage, and Jake Doyle something. O'Doyle rules. O'Doyle rules. O'Doyle rules. The Callis family just has too many people. Just has way too many fucking people. Like, Brian Cage looks literally like he at one point was one of the hottest guys out there. Like when Hammerstone was one of the top guys out there. He was the goddamn Swolverine. Now he's fucking MIA. Now he's just the big burly guy that can't wipe his ass because his muscles are too big in jobs. Jake Doyle's the only guy that's actually been doing any goddamn bit of anything with this, and he's been better off as a tag team with Mark Davis, which, why isn't he out here in this? What's he doing? But we are underway with a 6-man tag match of the Callis family versus Cope and the Bucks, and what is a midlife Hardy crisis, as they're all wearing matching attire too, but let me know who you got. I had to get brain fart because I was like, what fucking colorway is this? They look like they're sponsored by Mountain Dew or something. Davin, what up? Jose, I don't watch Collision, but no, you good. Nick should shave one side. No, I don't even think the missus would know who I am if I showed up with a clean-shaven face. Would you even know? You'd look like, who's this imposter man taking over the stream, taking over the channel? Invasion. Yeah, Claudio did well. Yeah. It was a good match. It was just, you knew what the outcome was going to be. Big nickname, 5 current AW talent you'd release. No, I'm not out there going to challenge, like, call for people's jobs. Trust me, if there's already been the reports as double facebusters from the Bucks of contracts that'll be up in 2027, that'll be up in, October this coming month. Of same people even said that with like WWE talent has rolled through suplex, Bucks in control. Why would that ever be an actual real life thing of to where Matt Jackson rolls back, catches Brian Cage standing perfectly into a Hurricane Rana position, and then Nick Jackson comes up and just kicks him in the face? Why who would ever do that? How would that ever be a real life thing that would ever happen in a real life fight? Like, movies don't even do shit that's fucking that blatant. Cage caught a Jackson. I'm sorry, Nick Jackson. Whoa. F2.5 onto the apron there from Brian Cage. Nair, I was expecting British Nick tonight. What's up, Big Nick? Moxley winning. Shocking. Yeah. Shocking. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint. If you only get the American Nick, hopefully at least Big Nick can suffice instead of, the the Nick World Order or even just British Nick out here. But yes, as I'm back in picture again. I will give AEW credit of they do picture in picture much more than WWE just does straight commercials, even on Netflix. But it's it is still a bit heavy. It is still a bit of it feels a bit patty. Um, Speedball is doing good, huh? Speedball, Mike Bailey, how are we getting out into the Speedball out here? Did I miss a point of conversation? Moxley Claudio did stand wrestling practice. Yeah, well, they did the moves. Rance Moxley knows damn well he could have gave Switchblade that win last week. That well, it's not even about that Moxley had to give him the win. It's just the way that like they do the whole backstage shake him up booking to set what sets up the tournament. No one knows outside of what you make it that you couldn't have had Jay White versus Moxley in the finals. You chose to have them earlier on in the tournament, which even if you needed the tournament is a thing. But you already chose to have them earlier on instead of having that be the finals because of your own choices. No one would have known, like, no one knew. There wasn't a bracket set up that showed where they were going to go. It was all just roll of the dice. So you could have booked it a different way. Corey, I still contend that if Willow loses to Mercedes, she will go down as the ultimate transitional champion ever, male or female. I don't know about that. That might be a bit of a slight over exaggeration or a slight you caught up in the moment kind of thing. I think, if you really want to look at it, there's probably been quite a few more. I mean, Christ almighty, Kane. As much as Kane I was a fan of, not maybe exactly so much Glenn Jacobs, but Kane, he literally held the title for the world title for not even 24 hours. So there's been definitely a plenty of transitional champions. That's what we were just worried about with Chelsea Green. As we're back to the action, as Nick Jackson with a step up Enziguri onto Brian Cage in the ring, reaching for a tag. Kevin, I see you. Match Tubes, talk about letting your roster just sit there. If AEW talent was bred, there'd be a lot of mold on them cupboards. Yeah, well, they're sourdoughs. I don't know. They're tactile. They're MREs. I'm trying to make some sort of an excuse because there's going to be that thing of how WWE will release people. Tony will just let contracts expire. And we still don't even know. It still at times has taken Hurricane Rana. Matt on to, was that Brian Cage? Or no, it was Nick on to Brian Cage. As now he's reaching for a tag. Who's going to get it first? They're going to do the double dive spot. Tag to Doyle, tag to Cope. But I do think that there's been a good bit that, like, even when they were not renewed, you still didn't know if they were not renewed. Like, how long was it before even, like, Abaddon, we actually knew she was truly a free agent? Because you still weren't fully sure if she was done or not. We still don't know with, like, Camarato, Damarato, Solo, all of that. Cope on fire. Coca-Cola. Copa Chameleon. Cape of Good Cope. Speedball is Timu Kung Lao. You're not wrong. J-Boy, FTR, they could come back at All In and be involved in this. Could they make this a three-way dance? Jason face expressions, Jose. I was going to say I give good facials, but that's a terrible thing. Strike that from the record. I didn't say that. Why is this trios match even happening and where is Christian? I don't know. And why are the people who are about to be fighting each other in 4 days so buddy? And why are they beefing with the Cows family who they're not going to fight? in 4 days? Why are they not just having a promo, a beef, an issue, a conflict, a conversation? Why isn't it that, say, the Bucks, because they're not the champs, have to face Doyle and Davis in a tag match, F5 for Brian Cage, more in F4. Now Rocky, sliced bread, 1, 2. Cope just took like 3 finishers, including one that was Brock Lesnar's, but not from Brock Lesnar, and kicks out at 2. Um, but yeah, they could have had the Bucks versus Doyle and Davis. They're about to get jumped by the Callis family, so Cope and Christian come to make the save the day, but they still have a bit of a tension, a bit of an issue. Instead of, oh, we're friends, but now we're not going to be friends. Super kick from the Bucks, drop kick. Now I went from a family to a clan. Wait, what? Who? I don't know if I can get away with saying that. He cut? Who's cut? Rocky! Oh, just again, why would that ever be something you do in an actual fucking fight? He does the goddamn celebration into the goddamn camera and then eats a double super kick to the back of the head. Spear! 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Tony Schiavone, for having to clarify. Still the legal man, by the way, because God knows we wouldn't have known. I don't even know if what he said was right. But Cope and the Bucks get the win out here. Team POE. Briang, rest in peace, Dolly Parton and Tim Curry. Yeah, still crazy of both of those back-to-back, same year, same, literally, I don't want to say it, but same bad time, same bad channel. Of when I saw the stuff with Tim Curry today, I thought it was literally somebody kind of pulling my leg, because how is that? So now we're setting up an issue. Oh, because now Christian's coming out. Christian's not happy. But to see both of them go, like, it's just, damn, like, that's a big chunk of feel goods that you knew you were that was out there still in the universe. Just Thanos snapped out there. As Christian out here. Anonymous. Nick, who would your 4 pillars be if you started a faction? MGF, who else would you put in that faction? If I was doing a 4 horsemen right now in AEW, shit, that's actually a really good question. I would still bring back FTR and still do something close to the Pinnacle. You still have a way to salvage them and make them fucking serious dudes. And if you put them with MJF, I think it could work again. So I'll give you that. And hey, you know what? Sometimes if it ain't broke, or if you didn't do it right the first time, try again. Give me Wardlow, who's still on the bench. Speaking of names, we were saying still on the bench, still out there. Could be used, should be used, would be used. Give me Wardlow. Just do Pinnacle again without Ty Dillinger. And just give me that. Just make it the 4 horsemen. Evolution, whatever you need to can call it. However you need to mold it. I think that would work fantastic. Because that's the biggest thing though, is you have to treat MJF as the guy. You have to make MJF like the absolute devil. You have to go full bore, all gears down, all gas, no brakes with it, with MJF for that to work. Because you can't have him be middling and then the rest will then trickle down. As Christian's got an issue. Kevin, what up? AD and AZ, yo, Big Nick. Good to see you on a Wednesday night, buddy. Appreciate you. Yeah. Out here of keeping it live and direct of Solo Dolo, pew pew, on a Wednesday out here. We shooting, dog. We shooting. We out here in this gym. It's crazy that wrestlers like Edge have only so many matches left in them, and he's wasting it on this match. I'm going to say this to your face, but if you keep running your mouth, He's so much smaller than even Christian. This literally looks like, I know Christian does like, you know, because your dad is dead and everything, which thankfully the Bucks' father is not. Um, but he looks like absolute low blow and then a super kick and then a spear. So now we set up the tension. He who goes over on the go home goes under on the pay-per-view. But they look so much bigger than the Bucks. It really does look like parent child a little bit, especially the little cap and the slick back hair, the tassels, and the small stature to Christian to Copeland. This does look like levels. Kevin, I see you. Wrestle Rants, what up? No, what's funny, Brian Cage? Body looks weird for it. Yeah, he's on the vitamins. He's on the vitamins. Uh, he's very oddly tanned. He's very oddly tanned. Kane did it in one company. Will has done it in three. New Japan Strong, CMLL, and AEW. MGF later tonight. Andrade later tonight. Where remind me then, I guess, of CMLL. I can see maybe with the New Japan Strong, but wasn't that also to Monet, if I'm trying to remember correctly? Wasn't that part of slightly building up this whole feud? Is up next Kyle O'Reilly versus Nigel. Nigel's phone bay here. Yeah, it's again of you splitting hairs a little bit with it, Corey, of as we get Willow out here. Is your one world title in the biggest promotion versus I'll give you two. I don't know if I can even give you three that she's done it in with that. So, but I'll put it this way. We'll meet at this pass. I want Willow to win, and I do think that there is a chance that she actually does win because Monet, as she's already jumping her again, speak of the devil and they shall appear. Monet Apatra, as she looks like what's the X-Men that's the real shit X-Men that was in like X2 or something that could just grow long fingernails. Not Wolverine, not even X-23 or anything like that, but just has just this weird bullshit trash ass power of they can grow really long fingernails that are really pointy. So like fucking Freddy Krueger. That's what Monet's out here with this right now. So she's smashed Willow's wrist again and everything. So Willow's down. We didn't see her hit her with the chair, but we just saw her throw the title belt and everything around. She threw the title belt into the chair as we go to commercial, straight up commercial. Well, I guess maybe if you're going to sell it, if production had to cut away because that wasn't supposed to happen. But it sure as shit was filmed like it looked like it was supposed to happen. But yeah. Shout out as again. Appreciate everybody out there right now. We are back at it tomorrow. TNA Impact, the fallout from everything with lockdown. Friday Night SmackDown. Again, no spoilers. I know it was taped after Monday. That's why we're out here early Monday this week and everything. It's been a wild week out here in the wrestling world, especially because everything's been halfway taped earlier or anything like that. But then also Sunday. If I can find a slide. We are out here Sunday. I believe it's still set for 10:30 right now. Don't fully hold me to that. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you know. But out here for all three shows out here. We know when we start. Actually, I don't even know at this point if we fully know when we start. But we're going to be here for all of it. We don't even know when we start, but we definitely don't know when we end. But we'll be here, out here covering anything and everything. Wrestling related, wrestling shows. We watch more wrestling and the actual shows more than anybody else out there. As again, I am in commercial break, so spread the good gospel of the WFU out there. AD and AZ again, I see you. Devin, what up? Almighty Pop, where's British KJ when you need him? I have no clue what the crowd's saying right now. Yeah, well, I was worried about too with what was it? What I Osprey and in his promo with and everything like that. That sounded like a goddamn soccer chant that I couldn't remember. Um, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It's the tapes. It's the tapes. I need. Where's Goal? Where's my UK translators out here? J-Boy, I see you. Sean, got your scarf ready, Nick. We get to hear from MGF tonight. Yes, best in native for sure. And again, I still stand by. Unless I unless they're gonna make chicken salad out of the chicken shit that I feel I worry this casino battle royal could be, or at least what they're doing with MJF right now. Because I don't know if he's actually even hurt or not fully. Because if he was hurt, if he's seriously hurt, why is he doing this and not just resting so we can do something bigger and better with him down the road? If he's not fully hurt, why are we not having him in the world title picture? So he's in this middling nonsense that I'm kind of thrown off by his. Now here's Davis. So what are we going to get now with Davis? Is I got Renee, Callis, and Davis as we're back from commercial out here. Willow, Yum Yums. Yeah, here, I got to, even though she got taken out, I got to catch up on him. We haven't had an Aubrey yet, but yeah.
Yum Yums.
Now it just looks like I'm giving Mark Davis Yum Yums, which, you know
Yum
what?
Yums.
He gets one too. So Davis is going to be in the Battle Royal. Nair. So is he what? Going to be number 3, number 4? He's going to bring the pain. Why Andrade face look ashy in that picture? I don't know. I don't know. Kid Rivos, what up? Damn Yum Yums. I ain't no Monet who was holding it like that. It's been a while. Canal, what up? Hello. As I slide down on the bottom out here, as we're getting Andrade El Idolo. The real man. But how you know? HYK, how you know? Dave with those crazy eyes. Jose. I don't think. Yes! Scarf time. As he teases. Now it's still of like, is this really him being a heel of, I'm going to tease Andrade's here, but I'm going to come out? He could have just came out on his own. Nah. As I do. As he still comes out with the world title, he comes out still with the Triple B. So I said it before, and I'll still stand by it. There could be a potential to where he leaves Wembley as your AEW World Champion. He sends the people home mad. Sunny Ireland, as he's in Glasgow, Scotland. Yeah, scarf, and the shirt is, I need the shirt too. I need the shirt. The only thing with the AEW merch store, even better than our merch store, well, worse than our merch store. Our merch store is better. Shout out of that. Like, I could order that shirt now. He'll have stopped wearing it and been wearing something different or be off TV by the time I get the shirt. Like, I got the Conor McGregor MJF pinstripe shirt and everything. By the time it actually showed up, he was off TV, or he was doing this with Adam Cole, I believe, at that point. Actually, he's your one true champion. That, I mean, I kind of want to like it. I kind of like it, but it is also, is it a bit of that CM Punkish vibe that some people try and say it is? MJF here to save the show. That's my real champ. Hashtag Triple B. Yeah, let me know if I'm too loud or anything, or how I sound out here. Again, only got me to see. But take a photo while the hot shit. Yeah, so he's even dogging on Andrade. But again, feels like these two have a personal, like they have their issue. They have a feud. They should have had a singles match by now. The blow off to their feud, the blow up their match for their feud. I'll take a photo with you, sweetheart. Of holy random, random little kid trying to be a fucking dickhead, trying to get in a fucking shot. I one question. Everybody's trying to give him bunny ears. Andrade behind him. Andrade stole my look. But how you know? He stole my look. He stole my look. How you know? See, this would work as a fucking singles match, like I said before, for Redemption. Why are we doing this? This is good shit. I want to see these two have a match. There's a reason why they should be pissed the fuck off. You could have done this as an AEW World Title match at Redemption to get into fucking Osprey at All In and everything. You could have done this as a singles match, and instead we're going to get it 1 and 2 for a fucking battle royal as MJF holds a belt that he technically isn't the champ of, as Andrade holds up a title that, depending on who you ask in NWA, he's not technically a champion of either. He's got he has he has the Espanol version of MJF shirt. So we've got battling of the shirts, and again, if you were to order them today, by the time they got to you, the match has already happened. They're not wearing them anymore and everything. But Andrade out here right now, this so much should have. And now Chris Jericho, he fucking goddamn Susie homemaker fucking ass haircut, bullshit ass tan. Looking like you're gonna tell me how the fucking avocados are too hard at the fucking grocery store, ass Chris Jericho. Of positive, happy. Good thoughts. Of they should have done this as a singles match well before this, instead of having this be 1 and 2 in a gauntlet match that's going to maybe give it all of 5 minutes. Is the whole story going to be them in a gauntlet match? Why is that how you pay off this fucking feud that's actually entertaining, and two guys that could fucking go in a singles match? And so Jericho's setting up a match for Collision in Glasgow. No, we're gonna get a match that we're getting at some point tonight. And hey, he said Glasgow too. So if he can say it, I can say it. But what does Jericho miss? Does Jericho miss All In? What the? Woosah, woosah, woosah. Grandpa, your classmates on TV again. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, well, he's got as many years in the business at this point as I have years on this planet. Jericho with the Richard Simmons tan. Yeah, I'm taking the scarf off. I disavow that fucking nonsense they gave us. And I'm too fucking hot. But we're getting Kyle O'Reilly out here right now. So Moxley is about to take on the winner of this match at Wembley to see for the Continental Cup, which will also be the Continental title, which, because different things we have to call them reasons. But Nigel coming out right now. It's Jericho time. Jericho. Jordan, MJF is the Miz in AW. The difference, MJF is not a jobber like the Miz. I like them both, but MJF is killing it on fire. You wrapped yourself around the wrist to can say that. You said he was the Miz, but he's not the Miz because the Miz is a jobber and MJF's not. As I do like the McGinnis shirt out there. It is interesting of how we've had this conversation, like when Nigel had his first match when he walked away from the commentary team and everything for a bit to have a match. It was interesting of how do you put the genie back in the bottle, and it seems very much like they didn't have any intentions of putting the genie back in the goddamn bottle with this. Because no bumps required. Yeah, well, at this point, to keep you healthy, there's going to be no bumps required. But yeah, Nigel's out here, been on Ring of Honor, almost won a Ring of Honor championship. He could end up being an AEW champion by the time we leave the weekend. I was going to say weekend, but week 2. Yeah. Jason laughing at me. Jose, I like Nick catching himself before he goes full KJ Rance modes. Yeah, well, he's used to this. He's got his, the wind up and everything like that. I can't rage, too hard when we're still only through the first hour, when we still might have an hour and a half left of the show. For all I know, Christ, we could still have another 2 hours. So I got to still pacing. I got to pace myself. If I keep ranting like this, I'm going to need a fucking pacemaker. Okay, here's Aubrey. Hit the button. Yes. Yum, yum, alarm. Yum, yum, alarm. We're like Planet Fitness. The Aubrey Edwards yum, yum, alarm.
Yums. Yum, yums. Yum, yums.
You know what? She even gets a... There you go. There's the nicest things that probably has been said about Aubrey Edwards. But shout out Aubrey as the ref out here. Kyle O'Reilly versus Nigel McGuinness. Let me know who you got for this match. Nigel for the win. Nigel for the win. Cherokee, of course it'll be Nigel for the win. But tell it to McIntyre who got robbed in Scotland. Well, different promotions, different strokes for different folks. Thank you for that unnecessary update, Renee. Yay. Hey, what do you say? Go down by the bay, play with some clay? The winner of the Casino Gauntlet match have to let know when he is cashing in the casino. He could do it right before, or could he do it at the start of the match? And bing, bang, boom, triple threat. We'll see. I don't know, even if it's not that. I wish I could do the polls and everything, pause that KJ does. I just don't have the access to do it, and I don't even know if I'd be able to pull it off correctly. But I don't know if the main event of All In ends clean. Whether it be Moxley gets involved, whether it be Moxley gets involved on Ospreay's behalf, or to Moxley's to Ospreay's detriment. Whether MJF gets involved, whether somebody entirely different gets involved. I don't know if I'm going into that match feeling like I can confidently say it ends clean. Oh, Nick, you sweet summer child. I try. Well, hey, listen. I get wound up sometimes, so I, gotta test out this oxygen. Big Nick Jericho has entered into the casino. Yay. So that's what he said. Okay. Yay. Thank you, Damien. Not mad at you, but more mad of we knew Jericho was not going to miss All In. So now how many people are going to get announced before you know that it's going to go for a bit? Because why would you announce people where it's not going to go? Or what, Jericho announces he's in but doesn't even get into the match because it already is over before he's done? Leg sweep from Kyle. And on where Nigel's known to have an injury as we slide so he can perfectly set it up there. Because that makes sense to do that. But yeah. To me, the better match that could come out of this, I know everybody thinks it's Nigel because of the UK, because of Wembley. Meteora. I still think that Kyle O'Reilly and Jon Moxley, they have a bit of a history, especially even over that belt. As we go to picture-in-picture, as Nigel's down, as we're shouting out Big 12 college football. But yeah, college football coming up this weekend too, Saturday. Hashtag shameless plug. Not sponsored. But Kyle O'Reilly versus Jon Moxley, to me, at this point in time, no Eddie, no Nigel is the better match. The Renee side reporting is getting tired. Stop making fetch happen, Gretchen. What was it, Gretchen? Now you're going to get me all you know, caught up in my fucking Mean Girls lore. This is blasphemy. I will tell KJ that you still have the Yum Yums button, Nick. I have besmirched its name. Well, here, I'll besmirch it some
Yum
more.
yums. Yum yums.
Here, and just for one time's sake, just so I can calm down. See, we're all going to have our moment of zen.
Who told you you can eat my cookies?
Yeah, do it. Dun dun. Let's all go to court now. Whoever says Aru is Yum Yums is sick. Hey, well, they're sickos. Sickos. Wrestle Rant, serious question. Why the F is Nigel on my television wrestling in 2026? And why the f is he facing Moxley in the finals of the Cup even more? Who the f asked for this? I may have asked for it at a moment in time, a moment of weakness. I do still think I like that Nigel's getting a bit of a. On one hand, he's got that all this in him a little bit, maybe a bit less, but still has a bit in that of, hey, he's always that guy that had that shoulda, woulda, coulda. And that's what we're kind of getting with Aldis. Now, Aldis has done it much better and much sparsely, and they quickly snapped him back to being a GM. Nigel had that one match to where he came out and faced Danielson. I believe that was his first match out. And then he's kind of stuck around. They haven't exactly put the genie back in the rule, back in the room, back in the bottle, back in the thing, back in the jar, back in the. They haven't tucked that genie away yet. They've still kind of have him going, and he's already banged up. Like, no disrespect on Hechicero, maybe a little disrespect on Nigel, but the last match he had leading to this match wasn't great. So far, this match has been very much Kyle just working him to go over. And I'd rather see somebody that I know can go full speed with Moxley, and even respectfully, Kyle has more history with Moxley than Nigel does. Nigel's whole thing would just be he's the UK tough guy versus the Cincinnati tough guy. That would be the thing. But one guy's already banged up. It would just be for the UK pop at this point, my opinion. And I wanted Nigel. Now I want him to go back. Soffit. Oh, 1 week notice rule is a thing. So it has to be a week notice? How about just a week notice? WEAK. Can we just do that? Why is Kyle just walking around the ring upset? I don't have that right now. I have Nigel eating a fucking Pele kick, stumbling out. Dipsy do eats a knee to the stomach. Nigel looks so much like he's just walking through shit. Nick is tired of this match. I'm not exactly tired of it. It's one of those, like I said, you can tell Nigel feels like he's walking through it a little bit. Like, I understand, again, Russ, he's a former commentator, hasn't been doing this much that lately and everything, but he's like in the wrong position on shit and everything. Of he gets knocked down and then has to slide to the apron so Kyle can do stuff. He sits there and gets hit in the center of the ring and then has to stumbly wobble fucking comically to the ropes to try and silly string himself back. Like, he just seems like it's paint by numbers shit. Don't pull off your pole. Yeah. J-boy, what up? What up? Admiral, this whole show seems like it is off on timing. Well, it's taped. It's taped, and this is the go home. So they haven't done any sort of production issues yet, but I'm still wondering. Now, second Kata Haja, I'm still wondering, do they have an overrun chop block? Back in the rolls through in the reverse, the Kata Hajime, the reverse chokehold. That's clear as day. He's got it locked in. He's even got the body triangle. Nigel slides into a pin, spreads, sunset over, 2 count. Now he's British teabagging Kyle O'Reilly. Shout out Geekbox. Zesty ass pin from Kyle for a 2 count there. But do they do an overrun on not only a tape show, but your go home show? Like so far, again, I keep asking and I still let me know. Again, I wish I could do the pose, do the batten down the hatches, but of what is your excitement level on a scale of 10? How excited are you going into All In? Is it just on the name value? Is it just on, well, it's All In, so they do a big show and they do a good show then? Or is it really actually gotten you sold? Like, are you excited to see who wins this to take on Jon Moxley? Nigel's rolled through one. Kyle with a bit of an arm submission. The audio feels tiny sometimes, Paul. Huh? Is it me or AEW number one problem is the audio? Well, now granted, this is actually a pretty solid crowd for Glasgow. I think it's about 6,000, I want to say. Definitely different than when they do like the 1Ks and everything in Vegas, which is odd. The 2Ks in Maryland, etc. But I think at times they try and make sure you don't hear like the one solid fan talking. Back in the bottle. Yeah, back in the bottle. See, I can say words. There we go. Ronan, there's some pure wrestling going on inside of the squared circle. Great technical work as Nigel's clawing. It was going to be that as he grabs the ropes. I just wish that Nigel was able to go at full capacity. Like, if Nigel was able to go full throttle, and honestly, if Eddie hadn't gotten hurt, where would we be with this? This whole quarterfinal, semifinal might look different. Bonkers, I said a couple of weeks ago to KJ, it would be Moxley versus McGinnis at All In. A lot of people have thought that and I'm not saying it didn't bonkers, but I can see it because of obviously silly string clothesline. 1, 2, 2 count. You expect it because Nigel, because UK. That's the only reason, and that's the only thing that I debate is that's why you think that. And again, I very much would have been there. I probably made the case for Eddie because of just Moxley's friend. End of discussion. Kyle taps. So we go into, you got his doing this and everything, and Kyle taps. So it's going to be Nigel McGuinness versus Jon Moxley at Wembley for the Continental Cup. As Nigel's hobbling to get to his feet, they're going to do this like it's his moment. Even when he loses, when he taps out, when he blacks out from that bulldog choke and comes to, his family is going to be meeting him in the ring as Kyle's already got a huge fucking shiner under his eye. He caught a fucking stiff one because that's already swollen. As Kyle raises Nigel's hand. Yeah. Kyle, under his left eye, Kyle, he ate a fucking good one. As we are in commercial break right now, so I will still try and make sure I didn't miss anybody out there. Admiral, it isn't just the sound. I don't know how to explain it. It just seems like everything is off a step. Well, production quality. That's what we got over here, production quality. Jose, I like how Aubrey stops counting before they kick out. Yeah, her timing's a little off. This match with Kyle ain't doing to change my opinion on not. But is it because Nigel's hurt? Like now I'm having to walk it back and try and make sense of this. Of like I said, this is just going to be Nigel gets a moment at Wembley. They're going to do. He's still going to lose. Is this AEW's version of Aldis versus Gunther? Because we all knew, most of us knew, some of us knew that Gunther would win. I think we all assume with this now that Moxley's going to win. So, like I said, when he comes to from that bulldog choke of then he'll have his family celebrate with him in the ring and everything like that. And we'll do that. Spaz, what up? Tanisha, what up? It's not that bad, Kevin, but if Nigel wins, it's bad booking. Fair, fair, fair. Bradley, I see you. Rebecca, 7 so far. There you go. Aubrey's flexible. Whoa, whoa. Tiny as in 10, Nick. Rin 10. Which, speaking of referees, I will just say I did see it going around. There was the whole clip about of tour. Even if you saw on Monday, tour was Fenix and Dragon Lee. So where our ref out there, good old Gaspacho, the referee, making it look like making it not noticeable, but holding the ropes open for the dive out there onto the announce desk. Hamburger guy, lunch lady land. Tanisha, Erica, I'm doing good. Get ready for sleep to start a good workout in the morning. Well, there you go. Let's get physical. Nigel tapped out. No. Kyle tapped out. Did I misremember? Yeah, Nigel wins. Kyle tapped. 2 down. Good luck with the workout starting. Always says, yeah, that's the thing, is getting your ass out here. Bro, these sequences look terrible from these two. It's, again, I think it's more of just because Nigel's got that broken wing. He's out there, ain't really the fly. So we're back now with Kyle Fletcher and Callis backstage. Callis looks so much like a fucking thumb or something. With like, he has like that super bad. Remember when MJF had that, like, well, even Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman had that super bad, like, rich mahogany leather ass kind of tan out there. That's what's kind of been going on, I feel, with Callis. No, it ain't Sabre Jr. versus Kyle Gunther, Aldis, or Daniel Bryan. Who's your what? Huh? Bonkers, I guess, try and let me understand the point that you are making. Do you understand? I could try. Oh, Okada. I was going to say, I could try and find the sound bit, but I don't know if I can or if I really want to. But or if it'd even be appropriate right now with Okada out here. But yeah, I don't know if I fully understand the words that are coming out of your message. When McGinnis Moxley do battle, be sure to eat M&M's. Ha. Pun. Rainmaker. Nigel versus Mox is a bathroom break. Is it one of those, though, that's like you're going to have the moment because you're going to get Nigel to come out at Wembley in the UK, and instead he's going to just get fucking choked out as Persephone out here. As I should probably switch back. So we're getting another 6, now a 6-woman tag match out here. So is this what I saw, that we're getting Persephone and am I fucking blanking on their name? Divine Dominion of Lana Cross and Megan Bayne taking on Maya World and the Brawling Birds. Been around the world in Maya. What in the... All right. When did they start doing this? This little video thing is a fucking computer game cut screen of... That's the last thing you see before your fucking roller coaster takes off at Universal or something. I don't exactly dislike it, but Jesus, big H Christ out there. They definitely enhanced certain things on even the images and the logos out there. Yeah. This is all the...
Yum yums.
I'm hitting the button so much, it's jamming up. Pause.
Would you like butter on that, sir?
Yeah, this is out here of. They very much look like they'd be walking around like Disney's fucking theme park, though, trying to be. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? I'd have a sandwich. But they would feel like if they had more tag teams to actually go against, I feel like they'd feel a bit better. Like what happened to Tekla and goddamn the Toxic Triangle out there? Sky Blue and Julia Hart out here. What happened to that? The Brawling Birds, I feel, are there and have just been the only team involved for this whole time. They're very much going to be somebody wins this just because of where they're from. Of they are going to win those belts just because UK. Like well shit, you've already done it. I was gonna say, why couldn't you just do Monet and Divinion versus the Birds and Willow, but I believe they've already done that. Toxic Triangle is in quarantine. They're out there waiting for the Toxic Avenger. Reminds me of a Halloween party at sorority house. Hey, I'm down for it. Nick, having not watched Japanese wrestling, sorry, not Japan wrestling, but Japanese wrestling, how much do they rely on promos, or is it just in-ring work? So, when it comes to Japanese wrestling, for the most part, it is in-ring work. You will get a little bit of the promos and everything. You get a bit more of your storytelling after the matches at times. You get a bit more of the afterbirths. You get stuff like that. You don't get, like, let me come out and cut a 12-minute promo or anything. That's why most of, like, even when Kenny or Ospreay used to cut promos, Okada even too, of more of their promos would be after they win or something like that, and then cutting a promo into the next thing or about what they just did. It's not as, I don't want to say it's not as story heavy, it's not as segment heavy, if that makes sense. It's very much more match heavy, in my opinion. Nick, Almighty Pop, Nick Tekla and her girl has been in Japan defending the Stardom belts. Fair, but you don't think that you could get them to do something at all then? Maybe, just maybe, seeing how she was just kind of really recently your AEW Women's Champion and arguably your biggest women's talent, maybe arguably one of your best talents overall. Definitely, I would say probably one of your best heel talents, as Persephone with a back elbow. As can her and Bailey just fight for the CMLL title and just have a Yamala off? Because even just, we got to give credit to Persephone
Yum,
out
yums.
here. She just,
Yum yums.
she even gets one of those too as well. Because, and again, she's super talented in ring. Of I still think it's funny that there was the whole story of TKO and WWE creative baffled by what Tony Khan's doing with Persephone out here. Of one of those, well, if we would have had her over here, we'd be doing so much more. She's just eating all the clotheslines. Patita, oh, that was clunky. Thought she was about to go for a whisper in the wind, instead just gets for an elevated clothesline, double superplex. But yeah, I haven't even asked. Let me know who you got for this match. But how do you feel about even Persephone out here? Of eats a moonsault, gets the 1-2 count. As Cross and Bane out there, not even trying to break it up. Not worried. But does Persephone need to be out there of like, does she have more matches with Maya World on Dynamite? Does she move straight to the AEW roster versus the CMO roster? I mean, she kind of already has, but she's got a CMO belt, I believe. Allegedly, she's might have a match with Statlander at All In or something. Maybe that's on a 0 hour. We'll see. But yeah, because I'm in picture. Dame, is that what you're going to do the whole time. Big ass beer talk. We don't want to hear you. We want to listen to the TV. Well, sorry, Dame. If you wanted to just listen to the TV, you can have that. That even what I'm mad at. There's plenty of other streamers out there that aren't as entertaining, that don't have as much of a conversation, that won't actually engage with you, won't acknowledge you or anything like that. That you're more than welcome to go and check them out. That'll just sit there in silence, and just so you can hear the TV because you can watch the TV yourself or can't find a way to fucking watch it. So you can have that, sir or ma'am, whichever you may be. If you want to stick around here, more than welcome to have you around here. But yeah, no, we actually like to have a conversation when we're watching the shows and everything and still talk about everything that's going on. Um, but yeah, as even Damien, I'm listening to Big Nick and chatting and watching Dynamite at the same damn time. At the same damn time. Sorry, you can't hang. But we'd love to have you. But if you just want to sit there and watch somebody stare and eat their food and not talk to you while you can just hear the show go behind them and everything like that, you can have that. Back to what's going on right now as we're in picture out here. But Almighty Pop, well, if you when be technical, I think it should be Tekla versus Willow at All In. Yes, yes, yes. She's great. Just think Tekla earned it. Absolutely. She was the former champ. The only reason Monet's there is because of the Owen, which still, yeah. Alex Winder or Jamie Hayter or Maya World, Lana Cross or Megan Persephone, who win? You just named everybody, but there's still two teams. As a dropkick discussion shout out. Been a pretty good show. Been a good show. Been a good, really good show. Remember, Bane was with Janela. I still want to see a doctor's clearance. Hey, no. No, that's where, hello, nurse. But yeah, he can't turn up his TV for copyright reasons. Absolutely. No. We'd actually like to not have our pages shut down or copyright striked or anything like that. Like, again, you might see some other people dealing with that, and you might see some other people getting hung out to dry, but we ain't going to be that guy. But we're back from picture in picture out here. Is Lana Cross just right now shoulder barging Jamie Hayter in the corner as she just dumps out the birds on the side. Yes, Brian, I'm going to see you, Damon. I think Statlander cost Persephone this match. Fair, I know you had sent me a vet. You think that that's going to be a match that they add to All In. I still wonder if we're going to get matches out of All In. If they do, just the 9 matches. Actually may not be bad. Actually might be actually paced fairly well, especially if it's going to be early in the afternoon out there. Yeah, Jose, I prefer to interact with people. Yeah, I like to talk to people, especially when they're tuning in and listen to me talk and everything. Like, this is the family where everybody knows your name. So, yeah. Maybe Nick, a new big time beer talk. Nick, there. So we're gonna get an solo Big Nick podcast out there. Big beer time with Big Nick, big bearded beefy boys slapping meat paws. Yeah. see, we're getting out there. Nick's new podcast, Big Ass Beer Talk. What are the chances that Tekla uses her rematch clause and makes it a 3-way? I'd love to see it. Honestly, I think it was actually Spaz that sent out to kind of the group chat that a couple of us have and everything. Tekla's out there on a goddamn milk carton. Where is she? She's out there. Is she on tour with Motor City? Because we ain't seen none of them in a minute out there. Drops a leg on Persephone off the turnbuckles. 2 kind of out there. Yeah, no. Let me know, I guess, out there, folks. A, how am I sounding? How am I doing? How am I feeling? How are you feeling out there? And B, would you rather I just hush up and we can just all sit in silence and just listen to the show and hope we don't get copyright striked? Or should we just out here actually talk about all the rest of that's going on and actually act like we're enjoying this out here? Can we see a ladder match for the TBS title, like a 6-person ladder match at All In? Maybe. I still wear as Bane clothesline of I still big bearded beard talk. There we go. There, we'll start that. That'll be the Big Nick, big bearded beard talk exclusive. Big beefy boys slapping meat. How many B's can we drop it out there? MJF's got his triple B's. I got quadruple B's. B's in the trap. B's in the trap. But yeah, no. Now I entirely forgot where I was going with this. But yeah, dig it, brother. yeah, no. I'm just giving you shit, brother. You're doing a great job. Love you. Love you too. Yeah. No, appreciative again. This is, again, we're a bit more the Pat McAfee, the Barstool show. Yo! Whoa! When she started doing that, the little springboard spin around stunner out there. Holy shit. As she gets dragged out. But no, I get we very much we kind of punch around, comes he, comes Haas, all of that. But yeah, just making sure. Just sometimes you got to get a little wrist slap out there. Windsor out here like a windmill, blowing everybody over. As beers, Jack Daniels, a perfect combo. You don't even know what's in Nick's secret stuff out here. Nobody's ever known. Even I don't know. Windsor! Honestly, can't wait for All In. It's very much that Persephone with a 3 count on Maya World after a frog splash. Do you do Persephone versus Maya at All In? Is there now the birds and the Dominions are fighting up the ramps? Yeah, so Persephone is now holding about, gives it a little smoochy boochy. Could that be a thing? As I cut to a Kevin Knight package out here. I'm excited for All In because I know it's an AEW pay-per-view and it's their biggest show of the year. They are going to go hell for leather, go for broke on it. I don't know if I'm super excited before the bell rings about what they're offering, though. So we've got the replay of Darby from last week, to which, shout out the Borden out there. Baby Sting getting his one fucking, already early spotlight. Nepo babies be damned out here in pro wrestling. But Darby walks into the whole explosive booby trap like goddamn Jeff Hardy did with Matt. But we're supposed to believe that, the Don was out there at the fucking controls and hitting the buttons? We already had the match on Dynamite. Now we're building to a rematch that we're doing nonsense to get to when this could have just been the straight and narrow story. Not even that they had to go, well, they did have to go direct to it, but you clearly had when Kevin Knight turned on Darby and he's sitting there hitting the stomp on him after he loses to MJF and everything on the goddamn stretcher and everything. You could have had it just go right from there. Instead, you've been around the world this whole way with this. Quit it. You're doing great. Keep talking. Thank you. Thank you. You really like me. Wait, I need to grab the golden cage. You like me. You really like me. Now, if there's one thing I know I'm good at is talking. Just saying. Nick Minaj and the pink ain't even a Friday. Yeah. 2 snaps and a clap out here. But yes, no. Bees in the trap. Even, trust me, my neighbor saw me with the pink shirt. He's like, look at you all, pretty in pink out there. Hey, you gotta show out. You gotta be out here. You make this shit look good out here. I can sit here and make Burberry look good. what was it? Of the Muhammad Ali, you know, I'm so mean I make medicine sick. I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm real bad. I can get blood from a stone. I could turn the lights off and be in bed before the room get dark. 2 snaps around the world. What do you think of the pyro hitting Darby? That's what I was saying of. That's a la the Jeff Hardy same but different thing of when Matt Hardy hit the controls and just he's the Randy Orton. Anyone remember Randy just hitting the button on the side? Like, what does this button do? That's you can't make me fully believe that that happened and nobody like lost their shit. Like, this is where stuff like the Waller situation where he was cutting his whole promo and they sell you on the production aspect of it. Like, this is how you would respond if this was really kind of going off the rails on an actual live television show. Instead, when you sell it like, that was okay, and we just move along, then, okay, that was planned, that wasn't, that was just written into the fold-out here. So that's where there's the issue with me. As, whose house is this? Whose house is this? Swerve coming out right now. So, the Dynamite main event. So I didn't even realize. We got 20 minutes. Do we get an overrun? Do we get an overrun? I don't know if there's anything else that's been advertised tonight that would exceed this. But so, Swerve versus Jack Perry is your main event for your go-home show. Ospreay kicked it off. No Omega. MJF Andrade is what we got for a segment. So if this is your main event, like, so your closing moment for your go-home show is not even a moment to a match on your show, unless, what, are we going to get Jurassic Express reunited? Luchasaurus, Marco Stunt? Are they going to show up to take on Swerve and maybe the New Day? Do you have the New Day debut here? Which, if that was the thing that happened, that would already have been a spoiler. Just saying. I feel like that would have already been out. But yeah, so as of right now, this is what they have. Sorry, I love the fucking theme song. And I didn't even like when he could have been the scapegoat. They've kind of fumbled the ball a bit with me when it comes to Jack Perry. But this is going to be your main event. It might be the best match of the night, but is it anything that carries over into All In? What are we doing? Too early for the mid. We'll see. Don't you curse me out here. Don't you put that evil on me, Jose, out here. Just because KJ's got to be out here with 45-minute overruns and everything doesn't mean I have to be too. Java Queen, what up? There has to be a good reason they gave Swerve his generic music back, right? I don't know. The most I've seen is that it's Swerve wanted to be heel, but it's like, fuck, we all still liked it though. RBB, whose house? Swerve's house. I want to say it like, anyone remember the show Run's House with Rev Run? Whose house? Swerve's house. I heart that beard, by the way. Smooches, spooches. I can't do the make a heart put up, but I'll do that there, you know. Smooches. No. Let's not talk about AEW. Let's talk about that beard. Now you see you're going too hard in the paint out here. Now you're going too hard. Big Nick ran. I haven't even gotten to the one topic I wanted to talk about. That might be the overrun out here. If they don't do one, I still haven't even gotten to the topic I want to talk about. Because I want to bring up somebody who got fired and somebody who I brought up last night, who was out there saying nonsense. and turned around and nonsense came back and bit you. But RBB, what up? Jason, I see you. Rev Run doing his final thoughts from the bathtub with Pierre Escargot. Omelette du fromage. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, it was always weird. MTV, the 2000s, the late 2000s, early 2010s were a weird time in everything, I guess. CJ Bethel, no, different letters, but yeah, definitely a G and a Bethel. KJ knew the spoilers, took time off. Now he's out there making the spoilers. He's out there. You're gonna see he's gonna show up on that SmackDown tape, and we still got that on Friday. Again, no spoilers with that. But Swerve versus Jack Perry, let me know who you got and why is it Swerve and why? So we're getting clearly Swerve versus the Swerve of the New Day. We're getting the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Probably we'll get Shane Taylor Promotions. We're getting the Demand. Do we get the Swirl? Do we get a Jurassic Express? Like who else do we get that is involved in this trios title marathon out here? We're gonna make the trios matter because we're gonna have 57 teams of them. Yeah, that's more accurate out there, Jose. KJ is being spoiled. He might be being spoiled by missing out on this, but yeah. Why is this match happening? Because it's Swerve is going to prove that Jack Perry doesn't belong in the world title scene, which he's not in the world title scene. Matter of fact, I don't know what scene he's in. And to be honest, even Swerve's currently not in the world title scene. So yeah, that would be a bit of that. As going for the stop to the chest, was going around for the reach around powerbomb, but yeah. The Demand might pop up. Does the Hurt Syndicate get involved in any of this? Why are they not out there competing for the trios belts? Give me MVP in a ring. Trust me, we know we ain't going back to WWE anytime soon. Who got fired? Or we gonna talk? Well, caught him. He's gonna hit a Styles Clash off the apron. Oh no, we're just gonna pendulum swing him into the ring post and onto the steps, and he's out. Now, as we go to commercial, how many bloodied up spots is Jack Perry to come up with? So we go to picture in picture. So I will say this, as I appreciate everybody out there tonight being a friend, tell a friend, spread the good gospel out there. We still might have a whole other hour of this whole Dynamite out here. So again, let's see if we can keep this, whole chat growing out there. Rocking and rolling. Not knowing what's going on is funny. What do I not know that's going on, Jose? What did I not know that's going on? As I was out here trying to talk about things, but yes, no, if we go to commercial or picture in picture. But I appreciate everybody out here. Be a friend, tell a friend, as we're still ever so close to 13K. Let's see if we can hit that 14K, 15K. Let's see if we can turn around and wrap around to 20K by the time me and KJ actually can find time to get these tattoos out of it. That's what he might be doing. He's going to come back with that shit. You watch. He's going to come back with that. Get into that topic, my dog. All right, fine. That's where I was going. As we're in picture. So, what I was talking about, what might be a bit of a ranty point and everything from me, is, for those who don't know, BJ Bethel. Good old SE Scoops, former employee at this point, was the one that was out there, came up with the whole 500K from HBO Max, the fabricated, made-up story about Gail Kim, etc. But he was the one that, like I said, I brought up, I believe, last night, the whole story about ESPN already trying to get out of their deal of trying to already say, not even a full year, I believe, through their 5-year deal, already saying, yeah, we ain't going to renew. Already sick of it, already not going to have it. Already a failure, already going to move on from it. But, so then that comes out, and even ESPN, yes, incoming rant, absolutely. batten down the hatches out here. Yeah, Nick, shouldn't MJF stand tall over the new AEW champion at the end of All In? I hope so. I hope so, Anonymous. But yes, incoming rant. But I'm going to quote because I'm not going to, unlike this motherfucker, I can say it at this point now. We're long enough in the stream. I'm actually going to source my material because he clearly didn't and even admits to not doing it. So, again, BJ Bethel puts out the whole story about ESPN trying to already walk back and already announcing that they're not going to renew their of their contract with WWE to air their PLEs, which ESPN immediately turned around and said, yeah, that's not true. I'm on commercial break. Fair enough. As I've pulled up Twitter, I think we might be coming back from it or picture in picture. But this man had the balls to say, I tried contacting ESPN through support.espn.com. So he went through their fucking tech support to try and get them for a source on this article. Last night, the night before he posted that the article went out, also left a voicemail on a support phone line. So again, call and watch ESPN, call in WWEshop.com out there to sit there and try and get a source on this. In fairness, I forgot about previous correspondence with Ben, who's the one from ESPN that instantly came out and disputed and refuted this whole story. With Ben in April and his email, or I would have contacted him there. So you had a way to reach out to somebody and still didn't do it. You instead went to tech support. You went into fucking Chat GPT, Google AI, to sit there and try and get a source on this. But I'm still standing by his story. Let me click over to make sure I'm not missing too much right now. Is Jack Perry now hits a sliced bread. So second time we've seen that move tonight on a swerve on the outside. We're still rolling through, and we still got the tides have turned out here. Impressive. Oh my, Swerve just got mad with it. I missed the dance because I was reading a tweet. Sliced bread. That's an unusual submission. But I guess now we'll have to wait until the next commercial break to find the second half. Up over top. Jack Perry takes out Swerve going to the top. Moonsault. Oh, I mean, he landed pretty much just on Swerve's shoulder. Both men down. No. Multiple topes, moonsaults. Yes, we're moving all the way around. Again, if this was built as a feud, if this was built for a title or something, I'd be down for it. Instead, Jack Perry, to my knowledge, currently doesn't have a match at All In, and Swerve is trying to find partners to be involved in the trios match at All In. Push off, lands on his feet, does Swerve, excuse me. Ho, ho, ho. That was some athletic. He overshot his shit, but still landing on his feet into a DDT. So many unnecessary. Flip, Philadelphia. I wrote it. I don't know, because, I mean, I think he saved it. He saved it. He salvaged it. He saved it. And honestly, sometimes when you do something like that, it turns around and looks clean. Oh, now we're into the training chop spot. We didn't even get this too much with Claudio and Moxley. But now we got to save it for the main event. Whose house? Oh, misses the house call. Eats a super kick. Oh! Swerve just took the out of Jungle Boy. Now is Swerve a little extra thick out here? Coup de Gracie. Oh! Rat trap, rat trap. Jack Perry's got Swerve hooked up. Is he going to tap out Swerve? What does that mean then? It's an all right match, but it's one of those of what does this contribute when we're going to be watching the pay-per-view in 4 days? Snare trap, rat trap, snap trap, drop top. 5 minutes left. Allegedly, we still might get the overrun, which still allegedly they want, but they like, but they, ew. 1, 2, two count from Jungle Boy after he counters a stunnery suplex into a Hurricane Rana pin of Smooth. Swerve been drinking those milkshakes. He got a little bit of a belly. Now I know I say that, knowing I can full well do the Kamala shit, but yeah. Oh, pull up Jack Perry by the buns. 1, 2, 3. Big pressure. Swerve gets the 1, 2, 3, but so does that end the show? Because right now, what do? You got 3 minutes left on the clock. What do you do that goes into an overrun that sells you as we're showing the matches on Collision? So is this the end of the show, or are we just gonna do this into a commercial break before we come back with something else? We'll hear from Kevin Knight on Collision. So they are doing a Collision before Worlds Collide of more Toast versus Takeda. Is this how they're selling this out? They instead got out early. Interessante. All In live this Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific time on HBO Max. Hashtag not sponsored. We'll be live before that because they'll probably have the 0 hour before that. But yeah, this really feels as they just dap up. So is this really how we're ending the show? This is how you end your go-home show and nothing that has anything to do with your pay-per-view? Oh, no, we're going to have the video package. Video package for Omega and Kenny. Or Omega and Ospreay. So they're just trying to do... But it has that like soft elevator ass music. This isn't even, no Kenny actually in attendance or anything so far, but this is very elevator music. Somebody made this as the intro for their vlog when this is supposed to be selling me on, brothers that had to fight over who's the best and everything. Like this should be Apollo Crews Rocky. Where's the Vegeta Goku in this? Shit. This feels very placé blasé. There has to be a collision, right? There's no way this is it. Well, there is a collision, but even then, their collision doesn't seem like it advertises too much for All In. What in the fucking skillet Christian rock ass band is this that's playing this fucking music? But this, we get they're going to have a good match. Tell me a bit more on this fucking intensity of why they need to fight. Bring up the fact that it's 1-1 and we're going to decide who's the best to do it out there. Instead, this feels like Pink and Lark instead of Linkin Park that's doing the goddamn music for this. I'd rather have an 80s montage. Yeah, exactly. Because you're the best around. Nothing's ever going to keep you down. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Stinton Park. Yeah. This is where I go to Creed of Hold Me Now. I'm 6 feet from the edge. Dame, which one do you enjoy more, AEW or WWE? Currently, I would say WWE, but honestly, it depends. There was definitely a time to where I would say it was AEW. Of it, I dare say it's on a case by case basis, but lately the cases have been coming up more WWE than AEW. Yeah, this so much feels like, hey, we built to the peak of this feud 2 weeks ago, and we don't know what the fuck else to do to send you out. Like, they literally turned Kenny Omega into a goddamn comic book villain last week. But so this is how, so it's 10 o'clock is, so this is the overrun. So what do you do beyond this on this show after you show this? Because this has to be your complete seller. This is your go home moment as Kenny's standing over top. I'll give them credit on the end of this. If this is how they go off the air, there we go. Trademarks in the corner. So hey, KJ, I win. I get a 1 minute overrun instead of them because it's out there taped. I get a 1 minute overrun, which anybody that says that Warner wants them to do the overruns is full of fucking shit. But yeah, so let me know, folks, as AEW's already gone off the air. That's your go home show. 4 All In. That's Dynamite. Let me know how you feel about that. Out of 10. I thought it was interesting the way they did it with the video package at the start. But once they finally got it into the end and they sold it that way, you could have trimmed it down and you could have done a little bit better with the music out there. It should have been just one more. Yeah, see? What are the non-Limp Bizkit is this? Sleeping Park. Yeah, the sleeping bench. Let sleeping dogs lie is what they should have done. You could have even, sat there and had them when they buck up into each other. Hello, my friend, we'll meet again. It's been a while, where should we begin? And plays through the history like I get what they wanted to achieve with that. I just don't think they fully achieved it. Bit wide right, but let me know how you feeling before I say goodnight out here. Yeah, KJ, you can have that. Not even what I'm mad out of. I get a 2 minute pause. This man gets a 2 segment can overrun out here. AW is a 7 out of 10. So it's just poor time management with the overruns when they're live. Facts. And I think we've said that for a while. And I'll say this to close out what I was talking about earlier, if you'll allow me for a moment, with good old BJ Bethel. Let's check in with what happened with BJ Bethel and his whole story about WWE and ESPN. ESPN already wanting to part ways. Statement from SE Scoops, his, at the time, current employer. Statement on our WWE ESPN report. Yesterday, we published a report from BJ Bethel on WWE's relationship with ESPN. We are retracting that story in its entirety. Before a story like this runs, the subject deserves a direct chance to respond, and that step wasn't taken to the appropriate standard. Since publication, it's come to light that this effort fell way short. We ran it, and the buck stops with us. We've parted ways with Mr. Bethel, have had our verification procedures reviewed by an outside partner, and updated our process as a result. Didn't even wish this man good luck in his future endeavors. But yeah, just last little happy note as I guess I get out of here. With a minimal overrun out there as we roll it all in. But somebody finally on the dirt sheets getting taken a fucking task of just saying nonsense And no, you just don't get away with saying nonsense. Of some lawyers might have gotten involved, but the one-time occasion is in here in the overrun. Yes, see, I am the good luck charm. The pink shirt is the good luck charm. Charm. But yeah, 6 out of 10. Didn't hate it. Good wrestling. 6.5. Wow, they actually ended on time. Yes, I know. I'm a gift. I'm a godsend. 5. Nick is here solo wants an overrun. You fixed it. Much like being the commissioner of, I guess, the Fantasy for Life Football League, as everybody likes to think I did. I put the fix in. I made a call. And, we don't got no overrun, Tony, out here. Otherwise, Luke Caprezi's sleeping with the fishes. 6.5 out of 10. London, UK, ready to go. On top of your rating out of 10, let me know quickly here. We'll extend it a little bit as much as I can for the overrun, for the lack of overrun, unless you want to run. But what out of 10 is your excitement going into All In? Coming out of tonight, what is your excitement going to All In? So two numbers. RBB, finally, they somehow ended on time. The gift that keeps on giving. 3 out of 10, not good. I think a bit harsh there. 5.5, I'm watching Clue. T's and P's. Almighty Pop, 6 out of 10. I'm not completely mad at it. It just wouldn't have been able to tell it was a go-home show if you didn't tell me. Still faith for All In. Yeah, and that's, again, this is what I've been saying. And sickos be damned, because you're not going to see an SRS or a Meltzer, and you're not going to see a BJ Bethel anymore say this. Of All In, to me, the excitement level for All In is simply for the fact that it's All In and it's an AEW pay-per-view. I don't have as much excitement for Ospreay versus Omega as I should have, as I could have, as I would have for MGF versus Ospreay. I feel at this point, I've accepted my fate. I know it's going to be a good match, but I don't know if I care too much about the fucking story. Takeshita, Okada, Fletcher thing is probably the next match I'm most excited for. The rest of it, maybe Monet and Willow, top 3, but more excited for the fact that I know it's All In than I am for a single storyline. I'll put it that way. Rest in peace, Tim Curry. Yes, 6 out of 10. Everybody out there, give me a 9 to 5 for Dolly out there. 7 out of 10. How many stars will the All In London main event get? Find out on Sunday. Yes, be here live, as we're live and direct. Well, first and foremost, I should say also, hey, go and get your merch out there. Trust me, it's starting to get, depending on where you might be, it's either heating up or it's cooling off out there. So make sure you get your, merch out there. And depending on, big bearded beefy boys and everything, we might need certain new merch out here. But yeah, make sure you grab your lines out there, and still make sure you always keep a notification out there, because new shit be dropping. But we are the WFU out there. Not only are we back at it like a jackrabbit for Sunday, for all 3 shows, we'll be out here bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, or bright-eyed and beard-faced, for All In, and then rolling right through on everything else. But we are also back tomorrow. Me and Anthony, back at it again. The resident ringsider, insider, the Anth by Elegance out there tomorrow for TNA. The fallout from lockdown, the live show, the live show after everything out there. But yeah. Even for TNA, no joke, this might be the worst build to an All In. I have absolutely zero emotion going into Sunday. Fair, that's what I was saying. It's very much, to me, what a lot of people have been saying, and I felt at times even with WrestleMania 41 and 42. I know it's supposed to be a big show, but it really hasn't, it hasn't lived up to the hype, I'll say, or hasn't built the hype. Jordan, where's Bobby? They could be in the trios gauntlet match, whatever it is. Wardlow, I think, is still out there. he might be on the hook with Hook, but Bad Go Home Show, Russell Rants, Paul, how many hours do you think it'll be at the start with 1 p.m.? Will we even be live before that? So make sure you tuned in. You got bragging rights when you and KJ clash in the future. Yeah, I see. When I'm out here, they stop for me. They listen. They respect the big Nick out here. When KJ's out here, when he be quiet, when he be talking, I be quiet. But when he leave, I be talking again. That's kind of where it feels like out there. TK respects your time. Exactly. He goddamn respects my time. And I respect your time. And I respect that you took the time to be with us out here tonight. All of y'all. 7 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 3 out of 10. Jason laughing at me. Brandon, what up? What up? Hey, yo, out here sliding in at the last hours out here. I'm glad KJ was on vacation and didn't have to watch this. Well, thank you. Thank you that I guess I got to be the sacrificial lamb out here for it. But see, they respect my time. They move on Big Nick time. They don't move on KJ Canadian time. That kid. But no, I just got lucky that they had a tape show. And I still thought that, could you imagine if they still, even with a tape show, did a half-hour overrun? Why not just advertise it for 2.5 hours? If it's going to be that every week, why not just advertise? I'm starting to turn into Snagglepuss out there. Why not advertise it? Most hype for MJF versus Andrade, but it's not a fucking gauntlet match. It should be a goddamn singles match. It should be a goddamn singles match. It should have been a singles match for the AEW title at Redemption. I stand on that. It should have even just been, even for the national title, a singles match at Redemption. Yeah. I just don't, I get that I like that. And I like what they kind of did with it and everything. And I know that they can have a good match. I just don't really fucking like that it's in a gauntlet match. That now Ciampa's number 3. Jericho is going to be out there. Fucking Mark Davis is going to be out there. Who else is going to be out there? Let me know in the comments on their stream, as I'm about to probably pack it up in here. Pause. I've been out here for 2.5 hours. Of who's going to be the surprises, whether they be debuts, returns, signees, what have yous out there, celebrities even for All In. But 9.5 from Brendan. Kyle, Nick, do you think there's any chance Britt Baker shows up at All In on Sunday? She's wanted to. I'd love to see it. She's even publicly put it out there. I'd like to do it. But yes. You did a great job tonight. Thank you. I feel like the little kid. Like, I take a nap right now. I take a nap right here. You did a good job. Thank you. No, I appreciate everybody out here. And again, this is proof positive 100% that all we need is just to turn around and hit the camera on, and we'll just be out here fucking talking about wrestling. And we appreciate everybody that tunes in. Poor Nick, you should have taken off too. Although with KJ, that really kept the belt off MJF. Because what? Oh, so you're saying I should have taken that off, but yeah, they did mess up with taking it off of MJF. But he's still coming out with a belt. Nick, don't forget, tomorrow night is the last preseason game for the Bills. Fair enough, fair enough. Who's the vet? This also too in the comments. For anybody, if you don't want to give me an AEW comment, give me an NFL comment. Give me what's your prediction, A, for the Bills, for your NFL team. What is your NFL team? Who's a name that you think gets cut, gets traded by the end of this? And honestly, who's watching college football on Saturday? I saw that. I'm already getting excited for goddamn 0 week. Not a 0 hour for Dynamite, for All In, but a 0 week for college football. Time to watch Evolve. Good night, guys. Appreciate you. As yes, bowing out, browning out. TNA Wrestling tomorrow night. Absolutely, me and Auntie out here. The fallout from lockdown. BRB. Nick, he was 10 out of 10. Dynamite 4 out of 10. I don't even think I gave a number. 6.5. 6.5 feels like it kind of fits. It very much did. It did the Dynamite thing of it was good, and hey, they didn't overrun, so I can't complain. Can't complain. But it did. It definitely was not a go home show, and even WWE has done better go home shows. NXT just did a better go home show than AEW did for their biggest pay per view. So 6.5. But Bradley, all right, y'all. I don't know where the hell the rest of the mods were tonight. Thank y'all for being civil with each other. Yes, everybody kept the peace out there. Everybody stayed in line. This is what happens when wrestling fans can actually get along and go along to get along. And that's why we are the WFU. Testing. Chat, please. No, we're not. Hashtag not sponsored. We're not out there working for Bethesda. Ronan, what up? Last preseason. Have a blessed night. Good job. Thank you. Back at it like a jackrabbit tomorrow. Absolutely. 8:45 later in the evening. So we can all get some rest. I need food and to take a walkabout. I need to make sure I have a lower half. But you've been my better half out here tonight. Thank you very much. I haven't been gaming the last 3 weeks. Fair enough, Bradley. But no, I appreciate everybody out there. Again, back at it like a jackrabbit tomorrow. Thursday Night Impact. All the way through the rest of the week. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Spread the good gospel of wrestling out there. Our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. When you're talking about that wrestling, you put about that for life with it. Peace. Jose, you goddamn right.